Absolutely, we need to defund Planned Parenthood. Anybody that hasn't seen these videos hopefully will shock folks' conscience. Now, I am for the protection of innocent human life. We've been the most pro-life state 6 years in a row in Louisiana. But regardless of whether people are pro-life or not, I would hope even those that aren't yet pro-life would be shocked by those images, this woman eating her salad, drinking her wine, just talking about unborn babies and their organs. You know, there are allegations they may have broken the laws when it came to human trafficking and selling fetal organ parts, but even beyond that, just the grotesque way they're talking about these babies. Absolutely, we should defund Planned Parenthood at the federal level. In my state, when this first came out, they don't perform any abortions in Louisiana. They're trying to build a clinic in New Orleans. We said we're not going to issue any permits. Instead, we launched an investigation. We've asked the FBI to cooperate. We're working with the state of Texas as well. They've got an investigation as well. So absolutely, I would hope this would shock folks' conscience. But one of the things we can and should be doing right now is cracking down on these sanctuary cities. You saw that awful, awful tragedy in San Francisco. Father's daughter is shot in his, literally almost in his arms, killed in his arms. That must never happen. And so what I've proposed is a partners in crime package that says hold the mayors, hold the local leaders accountable. They should be criminally as well as civilly liable as accomplices if they adopt policies, if they choose to ignore federal law. If they're allowing folks to come into their cities that are here illegally and not reporting that to ICE, ignoring that federal requirement and obligation, they should be considered accomplices. And so let's crack down on these sanctuary cities as well. Now you've got cities, local officials choosing which laws they want to enforce. That's not right, and you're exactly right. So the shooter in the San Francisco case shouldn't have been here in the first place. Multiple felonies, should have been deported, should have been detained, shouldn't have been free to walk the streets to take this innocent girl's life, the innocent woman's life. It makes no sense for these mayors, these local politicians, to be able to ignore the law, to pick and choose which laws they want to enforce. You know, the way that we were all raised was if you don't like a law, go and change it. And the president doesn't have the right. He's not the first president to disagree with Congress. He may be the first president to routinely just ignore their laws. Other presidents have said they're going to do the hard work of trying to get the laws changed.
Should a mayor of a sanctuary city who ignores federal law be arrested?
Absolutely. I would hold them as an accomplice, make them criminally culpable. I'd also make them civilly liable so that victims' families could sue, especially if the prosecutors aren't taking action or if the mayor's not changing their ways. I'd allow the families to go to court and sue them civilly as well to recover damages. The busiest guy is the guy in D.C. who has to do that for the vice president. He has to go out there and say, well, look, Vice President Biden really didn't mean what he said. I actually think on the Democratic side, an open contest would be better for them. I think this idea they're just going to coronate Hillary is a mistake. I think she should get out of the rope lines, go talk to voters, go shake hands, answer questions, go actually meet with the reporters, answer their questions, go and do town halls where, she did a town hall recently and somebody asked her about the Keystone Pipeline and she wouldn't answer the question.
Right, it's ridiculous.
This is amazing. She wants to be President of the United States and she says, because I was Secretary of State, I'm not able to answer that question. Just tell us whether she's for or against it on issue after issue. She even refuses to embrace her failed record as Secretary of State. The only thing she's ever run is the president's failed foreign policy. Right. She was behind the reset with Russia. Well, Putin is now in the Ukraine. She was the heart of their Middle East approach. Now ISIS is on the march. China is ascendant in Asia. And yet this is a candidate who is so reluctant, wouldn't tell us for a long time where she was on Fast Track Authority, wouldn't tell us where she was on the Keystone Pipeline, refuses to take a position. So I think the more Democrats that run, the better. Maybe they can get her to answer some questions, take a position. I actually think it'd be better for her, not that she wants my advice in terms of her candidacy, but I think a primary contest would actually strengthen their nominee. This whole coronation, I think, is a huge mistake.